Hello, and welcome to another episode of Automate Office Work. Today's episode is all about team responsibilities. My name is Justin. I'm an ex corporate lawyer turned automation expert. I studied computers before studying law. And so when I was working with my office work, I went on the journey to automate all of it. And so after doing that for several years, I am now a consultant in this space, here to help you start on your own journey. All right, so today's episode is all about team responsibilities, and today's episode is a live event on LinkedIn. So, welcome to the live audience. Feel free to leave comments, and we can answer your questions. And at the end of this portion, anybody can come on and have a chat with me as well if you'd like to just chat about your own journey. Today's episode is also being recorded to be put onto YouTube as a video. So I will be displaying some things today, but the content will also be available in audio only on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. So anything that I show on my screen, I will be sure to describe in words so it can be enjoyed in audio only as well. Okay, so there's a problem that we often have in teams of people working with all kinds of office work. And that is that different people have different responsibilities. People do all different kinds of things in a team. Some people specialize in different things. And it might turn out that after years of doing this and you have a tight-knit team, there might be nobody on the team who knows what everybody else does, including your manager. So imagine somebody goes on an extended vacation, some kind of a maternity or paternity leave, or heaven forbid, they just leave the company, right? And now you've got people reaching out to other people on the team, people from outside the department who normally would make requests to this person that they do something. Maybe they do it like, maybe there's like a report that this person would receive like from some other department. And they would save the data somewhere, maybe a spreadsheet, maybe add their own data, clean it up, maybe, and then pass it on to somebody else. Now, suddenly they are not there to be doing this during this time. And so somebody who is expecting this information, they now need to reach out to another member of the team, perhaps even the manager, and ask, can you provide me the report that this person normally gives? And in a lot of cases, the answer is no, we cannot. We have no idea what you're talking about. We don't know. Okay, you're saying that they provide you a report with some data that they received from somebody else. We don't know who this other person is. So just wait until the person returns. Okay, so I'm sure that many of you are familiar with this situation. This is an awful situation to be in when we could just make our data in a more open way where people can see it, or at the very least, just make a list of these things that you do on a regular basis and describe just a little bit how you do it so that other people can step in and help if needed. All right, so I built a tool for this. It's called Team Responsibilities. You might think about doing this in a very basic way in just some kind of a spreadsheet. The problem with a spreadsheet like this is you're going to have different columns of information that are needed based on all these different activities, okay? So I'm gonna show on my screen, I created a tool for tracking team responsibilities. It is on my SharePoint, but it is not like SharePoint like you're used to seeing. It's a SharePoint page that is beautiful, and it shows the exact interface that we want our team members to see. Okay, at the very top, it shows a title, and the title is the name of my team, which for this demonstration is Legal Ops, short for legal operations. We have a subtitle to this page, and it says Our Team's Roles. Below that, we have a navigation bar with different tabs, and the tab that is active, it says Team Objectives. Some other tabs we have are Main, Inbox, Finance, Technology, And then there's a little gear icon where we can manage these tabs. We can add more, we can delete some, we can rename them, we can reorder them if we want to. Below that, now that we're on a specific tabs page, which is our team's objectives, below that I have a button that says categories with a gear. So below this are going to be several categories of team objectives. To the right of this button, I have a magnifying glass and a little search box so you can type in and you can just find the exact uh, data that you are looking for. Below that, we have categories of, there's kind of like a spreadsheet, kind of a look to this, but they're very small because we only have a few. So there are categories of these objectives, and each category is its own spreadsheet because each of these categories is going to have different columns of data that is associated with it. Okay, so in the team category of objectives, we have rows of each of these objectives that fit under the team category. This category of things, it's highlighted with the color kind of a pink, kind of a fuchsia color. So you can see everything in this category has its own special color. And on the very left, there is an icon of a chain link, which you click on that, it will go specifically to a page just for this one objective. And we'll be able to see like the history, we'll be able to see notes and files and all kinds of things that are associated with this. But for now, we're going to stay on this spreadsheet kind of a looking interface. The columns are, you have the name of an objective, which are the names of our objectives are diversity, budget, and engagement, different rows of objectives here. The next column that I put here is a description. So for this category of objectives, we have a description column, which anybody can type as long as they want, but it shortens to only show a little bit, like the first 7 or 8 words of this description, although it could be much longer. And when you hover over this kind of a spreadsheet cell, you get a little pop-up and it shows you all the words that have been typed into here. The next column is to do, what we need to do for this objective next. The next column is a checkbox, which is either unchecked or checked, and that column says completed. The last column, it says notes, and then there's just a number of notes that have been attached to this. We can't see the notes at this point. We'd have to go to the items page to be able to see its notes, but we can see the number of the notes. And then on the very right of that, we have a gear where you can manage these different columns of data. You can add more. Here, I'm going to click on it, and it gives us a pop-up, and you can edit the columns of this category of objectives. So yeah, all of these columns with a description, to do, completed, and notes are here. We have them displayed on this front page. If there's also a files column that is not appearing, but when you go to an items page, you will be able to see a section where you have a collection of files that are uploaded and you can delete them and modify them. If I had this toggle switch turned on for the files column, then we would have a column for files, and it's the number of files that would appear on our spreadsheet here. We have that turned off, so it does not appear on this front page, but it would appear then on each item's specific page. We are able to add all kinds of columns of data, and you'll see some more column types as we look at some other categories possibly. Okay, I'm going to exit out of that. Below the column, you've got like a 6 dots kind of, and this is to show you that if you hover over that, the mouse turns into a hand that's grabbing, and you can drag and rearrange these to reorder your different rows of objectives. Okay, below this spreadsheet, there is an extra line. It says add item, and it's also pink to fit that category. So if I click here, it adds a new row, and now I have a new row. It says new title by default, and then all the different cells of all the other data are blank. So I can click on any of these cells, like where I can type the description, and I can just type some random stuff, and I click away, and I got a little box in the top right. It said saved and then disappeared. to show that it's saved in the back end. So yeah, you can change all of these things from here, from this home page, or you can also go to the items page, which I will do. Let's do that now. I'll click on a row. I'll click on, say, the budget objective. Oh, don't click on the title, because then you're able to edit the title. What you have to click on is the link. So I click on the link, and it's opening a specific page. Okay, so it says the name of our team is Legal Ops, which I would click on to go back to that previous. I have the name of the category, which is team. I have the name of this objective, which is budget, and I can click on that to edit it. I then have the description, the to-do, the completed, and each of those is editable if I just click on it, or if I click on the box to check it or uncheck it. Below that, I have I have two sections. I have sections for files and sections for notes. In the files section, I can upload a file, or I can click on, there's a drop down to just create a new file. If I click on new file, it says docx, xlsx, and txt. So I can just create those, or I can upload. I'm going to click on upload and see if I got something. Let's go to my documents, and let's do is there anything? Looking for something interesting that'd be a good docx. Here, I'll take it off my screen and I'll look. star.docx. Or I must have something that starts with the word dummy. Okay, I've got a dummy PDF that I will upload. All right, I just clicked on that and it added dummy.pdf. This is on SharePoint, so the dummy.pdf is also on the SharePoint. There's three dots where I can click on that and delete this file, or I can click on the file and it opens inside of SharePoint. If this was a Word document or some kind of an Office document, I would be able to edit those as well. Okay, so you can see here, this is very powerful. You can put the data points of whatever you're doing. You can let the rest of your team know like where you're at in a certain project, what needs to be done next. Maybe have the file that you're working on right there. You could have instructions. You could add a Word document there, and maybe you can just list out, these are the different steps of what I do on a monthly basis or a weekly basis. This is how I do these things. And you might even upload, like, here's a copy of the most recent version that I sent. This is what a report looks like. Okay. Below that is the notes section, and it's kind of like OneNote. You just got these different tabs. You can have several new notes, and you can rename these. Say demo, and you say, here is a note. Save that, and it's saved. And then you can go to a different tab and you can come back to it, and you've got your notes. So this is a really basic way. You can do all kinds of stuff. I'm going to go back to the spreadsheet interface. And so, yeah, you've got all different kinds of tabs and categories, any kind of thing that you need to be recording and letting your team know about in some kind of an organized way. This is more powerful than a spreadsheet, because you can have different kinds of columns for different kinds of items, and you can have them all together in a single spreadsheet like this. Yeah, you could have a single spreadsheet with your team, and you could have tabs along the bottom, but then this also allows you to attach notes to it. This allows you to attach files to the item as well. So this is superior to a spreadsheet in that way. You kind of get the best of both worlds. You get the spreadsheet, and you get a file structure as well, where you can put all kinds of things. All right. Let's see the other kinds of columns that I had, descriptions and notes. Maybe we have them in the other tabs. In our main tab, the main tab has all kinds of columns here. So you can have a column, say like owner, and this has it's kind of a nice looking thing. I've got these blue filled in circles with white letters, and it's the initials of the person who is the owner. So if I click on this, it says Anna Nix, but her initial, her blue circle, it just says AN. The next column says status, and we have working on it, which is yellow. We have achieved, which is green, and we have canceled, which is red. If I click on one of these, it becomes a drop down, and I can choose from those three statuses. Plus, I can leave a blank status, which is white, if I wanted to. By the way, that's all editable. If I go to my gear for this category, when I put a drop down there, I call the title status, and then I can give colors and the background colors and the text colors and the title of what that option should be. You can add and give as many as you need to for your data type. Okay. After that, it's just a text, another text, another text. Action to close is just more text. Risks is just more text. Priority is just more text. Okay, now we've got some dates. I've got a column, it says start date. And yeah, some of these rows are blank, but I have one row, it says 11 May 2023, and I have a little bell icon. So if I click on this cell, I get a calendar pop up. So I can choose a different date to set that as. And if I click on the bell, all right, I got a little pop up. We can send an automatic notification by email to somebody, which it's going to be, yeah, I've got a bell, and then I've got a toggle to turn it on and off. If we want to turn it off, we can. And it says 1 day before, and I can change the number 1 to another number. I do have a single person who is there, but I can also add more people and take them away as well. And we've got an end date, which is the same, files and notes. Okay, and below that, there's a new category. It says sales goals, and there are a couple of new types of columns. Let's see. All right, we have percent done. And this one here says 52% done, and the cell itself is filled in with a background, a blue color, 52% of the way. So if I click on that, it asks me what is the number of percent that should be filled, and my number is 52. So I could put any other number in there between 0 and 100, and that would be fine. Desired state is text. Items done. So this is a fraction, and I have 15/30 is what I've typed in. And so then that also creates a percentage that's filled in as well. So 15 out of 30, it's 50% of the way filled. And I think that's mostly, if I look at this, are there any other column types? We have Boolean, which is, I believe that's a checkbox that's checked or not. We have the date, we have the dropdown, the fraction, the percentage, the person, and the text. So yeah, these are all the data types that I created for this tool. Okay. Yeah, we can also hide some of these. So let's say you do have a list of things that your team needs to be doing and working on. Maybe you get requests from different teams to work on things. You can put your items here. Like we called it inbox. So I'm going to click on this category of inbox, and we've got an issues category. And then we just track all the data points that we need to. When an item is finished, you might say, we don't want to actually delete it. We just want to hide it. We want to be able to see it in the future, but have it hidden by default. And that is when you go to the items page, there's a box in the very top right. It says, it's a checkbox that says hidden. And I can check that to say hidden. And then when I go back to the spreadsheet interface, there is a checkbox in the top right. It says show hidden. So when I check that, it shows the extra rows that were hidden before. And let's see, do I have any? Aha, there's one that when I do show the hidden ones, the name is struck out. So you can tell that it was hidden, and now we are showing the ones that were hidden. All right. Anything else that's cool here? Okay, if I click on the categories gear, I can add more categories. I can change the colors. I can change the text that's describing the category. I can rearrange them. I can add, I can take away. So yeah, this is a very powerful tool for managing all kinds of data for anything that your team needs to all be working on. Um, yeah, it's not super powerful in like we didn't put intake onto here. Like a customer or a client would not come to this directly and put it in, but this is more for internally in your team. Members of your team can come and just put everything all in one place. You don't need to have a separate system for everything. You don't need to go and absolutely build out everything all at once. You might say, like, this is a first step for us, just having everything written down in one place. It's already a good start. Maybe in the future, then we can take these different steps of what we're doing and automate it, like make it so we're not inputting it, but maybe give the requester an intake form where they would put their data points, and then their data points would automatically be on a specific system where we would then be going through the different steps and getting the approvals and modifying documents appropriately. But this is kind of a halfway, right? It's getting the data points all in one place so you can see what everybody's doing. And then when a person does leave or when they go on extended vacation, your team actually has a chance to help people instead of saying, you'll have to wait until they get back. All right. So I'm hoping you guys are liking this content. I'm going to see if there's any comments. And would anybody like to come on as well? All right, I do not see any comments. All right, next week's episode is going to be a conversation that I pre-recorded with a head of legal operations uh, who uh, who started automating his work when he was also a lawyer inside a company, just like me, and his company saw the value of lawyers that code, and they created a position for him to do exactly that. And so he's been doing that for a few years now. He's he is in Europe, kind of near me. I'm in the Netherlands, so he's my neighbor near me, and so I will be publishing that episode around this time next Friday. And it's a great conversation. It's about 50 minutes. And the title of that episode is AI is not the answer to everything. So, yes, we realize that people are excited about new kinds of technology, but we are also aware that it does not meet all of everybody's needs. It's not the answer to everything. You need to really take your time and go through your processes. Make your processes really, really good. And then you could possibly bring in AI to make those processes go faster. Or you might notice that automating those processes, it's already the answer. It's all you need, actually. We don't need to bring in AI because the processes are already doing themselves. Um, all right. Okay. So let's go through my little ad for you guys. I am Justin. I am an ex-corporate lawyer. I studied computers before studying law, and I went on the journey like you to automate all of my office work. You can do absolutely everything with automation, including like this tool just showed that you can manage and keep track of all the responsibilities, what everybody's doing. Right? You might notice that you actually might not need as many touch points with a manager if your manager can see everything that you're doing, how it's going. They can then update their superiors just by monitoring and seeing how it's going. They can see if you need any help from them. So a manager might not even have to reach out to you daily and ask how it's going because they can just see it right there, right? Um, it- you can also imagine that your weekly team meetings will be different because on those weekly team meetings, instead of the manager asking, "What is everybody working on?" maybe you just pull up that page and the manager can say, "All right, Justin, I see you're working on X. Can you tell me more?" That is a much different question than, "Justin, tell me what you're working on." Because I'm working on so many different things, right? It's like, which one thing do I pick to tell you about? Instead, the manager can see the list and choose what would be of interest to talk about. It will make your meetings different. Um, and then maybe take that a step further in your monthly report. Instead of having to think back the last 30 days, what are the things that I should be putting on my monthly report? You can see them on this list, right? You can see everything everybody did. And then that's a much different exercise for the manager to create that monthly report or whatever. I also created a specific solution for this very scenario for weekly and monthly reports. I might show it in the future, um, but until we get to that point, you might think about using a solution like I showed today with team responsibilities. That's one of the ways that you could use this. Okay. If you are interested in some of my services, I am available for consulting where I can just give you valuable advice. You know, you might be just starting this journey and wondering, where do I go next? So being able to meet with a person like me, where I can just give you my advice and get you right on the path, starting to where you need to go. That's very valuable. And it might only take 30 minutes or an hour for us to go through your situation. And I tell you exactly how you should be doing it. The next step is that I can actually do it for you. If you do not have an IT department that can do this, or if you don't have a vendor who provides the exact solution that you need, I am also available. I can provide you solutions like the one that I just showed today, solutions that are very small, lightweight, fit your exact needs, are customized, and meet you exactly where you do your work. You know, these are much simpler to implement than $1 million system that requires everybody to change. You know, we can meet you where you're already working. And the last service that I provide is education. I can meet with you, I can give conference talks, we can run seminars where we teach people how to change and how to get this innovation mindset where everybody is contributing because it takes all of us and we need to work together. You can have the best technology in the world, but you need to bring the people with you as well. So, all right. My name is Justin. You can find me on LinkedIn, Justin Turman, Turman. You can also find me at my website, automateofficework.com. My email is justin@automateofficework.com, as well as on the website, I've got a great big book a call button so you can schedule a chat with me. I do offer a free first time meeting for 30 minutes. If you need more than that, I do have consulting rates. If you would prefer, though, you can also come on to this weekly podcast with me and we can have a chat that everybody can listen to, which will also be free for you. But then everyone will get the benefit of listening to the content as well. So just be aware that we can speak in very general terms that don't break your confidentiality kinds of things, but we can have the chat here as well. Okay, sign up for my newsletter. It's a weekly newsletter where you get all kinds of content and you can stay up to date with my content. Okay, so with that, I wish you happy automating.